Good morning, you guys. So today we're going to finish questions 4, 5, and 6. My recommendation for all of these ones is you can absolutely use the unit circle, but my thought is if we've already graphed sine, cosine, and tangent, if we're graphing cosecant, secant, and cotangent, we're technically graphing the opposite of the other ones, right? Like for example, cosecant is 1 over sine of theta. So what I can do is I can use my answers from sine of theta from question number 1 to help me with my answers for cosecant. So for example, if I want to find cosecant of 0 degrees or 0 radians, okay, I basically want it's going to be 1 over whatever the answer was for sine. So if I go back to where the answer was for sine, sine of 0 was 0, right? So if I go to cosecant, sine of 0 was 0. So cosecant of 0 is undefined, which means there's going to be an asymptote right there. Okay. If I want to do cosecant of pi over 2, that's going to be 1 over whatever the answer was of sine of pi over 2. So again, go back to number 1. Okay. Sine of pi over 2 was 1. So that means cosecant of pi over 2 is just equal to 1. And so on and so forth, okay? What you will start to notice is that, again, you'll just get a bunch of asymptotes and a bunch of dots. So like remember when we did tangent on our last video, I said this is basically what you end up with, and you're not totally sure what the rest of it looks like. And I had to fill in the piece of here's what everything looks like in between, right? That same thing is going to happen with 4, 5, and 6, where you're just going to have asymptotes where it's undefined and dots where it is defined. And then it's just going to be kind of like, I don't know where to go from there. So get at least the asymptotes and the points that you know for sure graphed for questions 4, 5, and 6 on that Unit 9 homework number 1 that I gave you guys yesterday. Then when you're ready, go ahead and unpause this video or look at the answer key that I provided and make sure that you have the period listed out, you have the domain and the range as well, okay? All right, so if you're continuing with this video, that means you have questions 4, 5, and 6 all done. So here is the answer to question number 4. So again, the domain is kind of goofy because even though the domain is negative infinity to infinity, there's all these asymptotes right here. And that same issue happens that happened with tangent. Like, how am I supposed to say, well, this is where it doesn't work, okay? So we basically say, n is kind of like the number that's in front of the cosecant of theta. So like in this case, it's just 1. So if you do pi times and then whatever these numbers are, that's where you're going to get those asymptotes. Again, this piece right here, you do not have to worry about it too much. We'll talk about it later in further detail. For right now, just know that technically while the domain's negative infinity to infinity, we have all these asymptotes we have to be aware of. The other thing to be careful of is the period for this one. If you start at 0, it doesn't actually repeat till 2 pi because you want it to literally repeat. Even though this is a parabola and this is a parabola, then the next one will be parabola up here. So you're looking for that full cycle. The range in this case is a little bit different, right? From negative infinity to negative 1, and then it kind of gets cut off until positive 1 and moving forward. So domain and range was a little bit different for cosecant. All right, let's look at the answer for secant of theta. Okay, basically you find this one very, very similarly to how I found cosecant. I used the answers that we got from the cosine graph because secant is the same thing as 1 over cosine of theta, right? And I just used those same numbers to kind of help me out to speed up that process. Again, the period is 2 pi, and then we've got the domain and range listed right there. Last one, this one's a little bit goofy. Okay, cotangent of theta. Remember, cotangent is the same thing as 1 over tangent. So you can take a lot of those numbers and kind of flip them around. So what happens is where there used to be asymptotes, there are now dots. And where there were dots, there are now asymptotes, right? It kind of flipped a little bit. Okay. Again, in this one, the period is a little bit shorter, just like it was for tangent. It's only pi instead of 2 pi for that full cycle of the graph to repeat. All right, you guys, so today your goal is to make sure you've got your 6 parent functions graphed out neatly, either on a blank sheet of paper, copy paper. If you were able to print out the worksheet I posted, awesome. And then take a picture of those 6 parent functions all drawn out with the period, domain, and range listed out for all 6, and take a picture and submit that as your homework assignment for today. Tomorrow, and then moving forward in this chapter, we're going to use this. So kind of like how we've been using the unit circle and building off of that for all these other concepts we're talking about, we're going to refer back to these parent functions. So make sure you save this worksheet so that you can refer back to it as we keep going. As always, stop by, see me for office hours if you're struggling or if you have a question and you need some help.